welcome to NGO CSW70 Forum Parallel Event Organizing Training. We're excited to have you all in the training today. And we'll start with the introduction. Please put your name in chat, your organization, and your country you're in. Hi, Nasia.
Hello.
Hope you're fine today.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Nazia from Pakistan.
Hello. Thank you for joining the training today.
Hi, this is Anupam from Belgium. The name of our organization is Education Global et Développement.
Nice to meet you. So,
Hello,
just
colleagues.
a reminder. Hello, sorry. Please go ahead.
I was just going to say to please introduce yourself in the chat and please try to keep yourself muted.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes, please keep yourself muted, and I will take questions at the end of the session. Just to let you know that this session will be recorded and disseminated afterward and posted on YouTube as well. And let's go through the overview of agenda. So next slide, please. Yes, so we'll start with showing how to use agenda on the portal. Then we'll move into introduction to event page and making changes. Then using your own virtual meeting platform. We will discuss important information for in-person events. Also, we will talk about the participant engagement with your event and safety, security, and other important resources. And of course, very important Q&A. I will keep all the questions for Q&A. Before we start, let's hear the welcome message from our co-chairs. Please, Pamela.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the organizer training. It's important for you to know how much we appreciate having you as part of the team for the NGO CSW forum. And you know that your parallel event is a very important part of this work. It's with that in mind, it's important for you to understand the back end and how to set up your parallel event. I hope that you remembered to bring the tech person who was specified on your application, because they are going to be the people who are really responsible for making sure that your parallel event is set up properly. And I'll turn it over to Rosa.
Thank you so much, Pamela. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, bonjour. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. First of all, one, we're so grateful that you have signed up for a parallel event. And two, we're so grateful that you're here taking this training. It's very important that everyone understand how to maximize the benefits of our platform, of our parallel events, and just to also let people know that there are still spaces and open registration for virtual parallel events. If you know of anyone who is not doing an in-person and wants a virtual, we still have spaces. And I want to thank in advance John from WOVA, who's going to be doing a very extensive training. Thank you so much, John, for being here. And I also want to thank Anna, who will be guiding us, Mads, who has helped put all of this together, our office manager, and our admin staff, Mariama, Mutia, and Jameson. We hope that you get lots of benefits from this training. Please know there will be a recording and you can replay as many times as you need to get details. We are also here. We will be answering questions in the chat and also at the very end of the session for you to know. And we also will be taking questions via email should you have any issue after this presentation. So we're ready to go. Thank you so much. And let me introduce John from WOVA, which is our virtual platform company. John Santiago, thank you so much for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Rosa. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's a pleasure to meet everybody. Like Rosa mentioned, I am the HUVA rep over here that's assisting the NGO CSW team with all things HUVA. HUVA will be the platform that you will be utilizing to upload your own information, your parallel event information, your live stream links, and all that jazz. And we're going to be breaking it down here in this meeting. I'm gonna be running through all the necessary things that you will have to do on your end. And like they mentioned, towards the end, we'll open up the floor for any questions or concerns. The first thing to note is if you are the point person for your parallel events, you should have received an email maybe 5 minutes ago or just now in regards to your lead organizer portal. So please double check your emails now if you have. Please note that if you are attending for someone and you are not the point person, then you may not have received this email. But within this email, there's going to be a few links for you. The first one is going to be that lead organizer portal button that you see there on the left-hand side. That's going to be the portal where you'll be uploading your information. And we're going to be diving into that in the next slide. But on the right side, you'll see the link to download the HUVA mobile app, as well as to access the forum event web portal. Just some key distinctions here. The lead organizer portal, that's going to be the website where you will be uploading your information and your parallel event information, your Zoom links, and all that stuff. All of the main contacts for each parallel event will have their own unique link. So again, those will only be accessible to you unless you stated otherwise to the NGO CSW70 team and you have a different point person. If that's the case, please let us know. But for the forum event web portal, that's going to be the front-facing site for all attendees. That's going to be where everyone will be accessing all of the parallel events, all of the details, the attendee list, where you'll be networking with others. So please keep those terminologies in the back of your minds. But we can now go on to the next slide. So when you log into the lead organizer portal, first and foremost, it's going to take you to the login. If you already have a HUVA login, then it's going to be an easy step for you. But if you don't already have one, then it's going to prompt you to create a password. So if not now, then please, after this meeting, double check your email and get that started so you can get all that stuff uploaded. This is the first thing you will see once you log into your lead organizer portal. As you can see here, it's going to say speaker information, but speaker information is going to be you, okay? That's going to be you, the parallel events organizer. So put in your information in here, your profile picture, your bio, your affiliation, all of these pieces of information will be front-facing for the attendees to view when they enter your parallel event. And on the next slide here, on the right side, this is where you'll be uploading your parallel event info. So again, what you'll be able to essentially edit and upload on your end is your session description. If there's anyone else associated with your events, with your panel, if there's any speakers that you want to highlight, you can highlight them on the description. You could add in photos, further text, key takeaways. But as you can see there towards the bottom, you could also upload documents. I believe you may upload up to 5 PDFs or presentations, up to 10 megabytes. And at the very bottom of that right-hand side screenshot, you'll also see an area to upload your Zoom link. So HUVA works best in terms of live streaming your virtual parallel event with Zoom. So please, if you don't already have a Zoom account, please create one. And you're essentially going to be creating that Zoom meeting link for your event, and you'll paste that link right there. So now we're going to be talking about the NGO CSW 70 forum web portal. So this is, again, the front-facing site for all attendees. This is what they're essentially going to be seeing when they enter yours, right? First and foremost, this is an example. So this is not NGO CSW 70's official one. But to start, you'll see on the left-hand side where we have home, agenda, attendees, community. That's going to be your navigation bar, right? That's how you're going to be accessing all of the various parts and areas of the forum. In this case here, we're essentially just highlighting what your virtual parallel event will look like. This will be found on the agenda tab and sessions. And this is what it's going to look like, right? So as you can see on the middle of the page, we have, it says currently alert, the stream may be empty or showing other sessions. But when you start your live stream, it's going to automatically show and play out with you as the speaker or you as the parallel event organizer. And your live stream will automatically run through there. On the right-hand side, you can see all the engagement tools for the folks attending your virtual parallel event. We have a Q&A where attendees will be able to ask you questions on the fly. We have polls, we have the chat box, and on the very right-hand side, we have the community where all folks, even if they're watching your live stream and your events, they'll still be able to communicate and converse with all attendees, with all things happening at the event in real time. On this next slide, we're just essentially scrolling down, right? We're still on the same parallel event, but now all the information and content that you uploaded back from our lead organizer portal will be shown here. So as you can see, I'm the speaker, but for your guys' event, it's going to say parallel event manager. But it has my headshot, it has that description that I put in. Any documents that I put in or PDFs, it'll also be shown here. So when you do log into your lead organizer portal, of course, make your parallel event description as descriptive as possible. Make sure the attendees who are attending know exactly what to take away from your virtual parallel events, and feel free to add whatever you need to in there. And this is just another area in the forum event web portal. On the very left-hand side, you'll see a section called My Stuff, right? And we have a little hub for you. Within this hub, you will be able to see who's attending your virtual parallel events. On the right-hand side, you will also be able to create polls if you want to incorporate any polls within your session for attendees to answer, right? And on the bottom right-hand side, you'll be able to see all the questions that the attendees put in. So if you wanted to check out these questions after your parallel events, you can go into this little hub and check all of it out. And in terms of using your own virtual meeting platform, you could do tests and open your session as early as you'd like. What we mean by that is you're able to add in your Zoom link, click start on that Zoom link, and go into Whova, the forum event web portal, the front-facing site, and see how it looks like at any moment in time, right? Let's pretend your virtual parallel event starts on Thursday, but you have everything up and you're ready by Monday, right? And you want to see how things look like. You could start that live stream on Monday and have some of your folks go into Whova, see how it looks like, just so you guys could do some test runs, ensure that there's no technical issues, making sure that your mic's good, you sharing your screen is good. In terms of sending the event link directly to anyone in your network, there will be a link provided to you. It should have been included within the email that was sent over, but they will need to register for NGO CSW70 as an attendee, and that will be open and live very soon, and we'll ensure to notify everybody once that is live. Like I mentioned earlier, you could set up polls, breakout rooms, and interpretations directly within your session. For breakout rooms, that's going to be a Zoom functionality. So make sure for your Zoom account, you have breakout rooms enabled, and you're pretty much going to be doing it in Whova once you start it.
I think, John, or is that all your slides?
I think so. I don't know if I stepped over some toes. I don't know if you were supposed to do that last slide, but Hopefully that was
That's
okay.
okay. That's okay. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Hi everyone. My name is Maz. I'm the office manager at NGO CSW. I mainly work on making sure all the logistics in the office and parallel events are up and running. And yeah, thank you so much, John, for that really great summary of HUVA. We're going to have a very a session for Q&A after we finish all of the information sharing, which should be pretty short. So we'll make sure that we answer all of your questions. I've been marking down some of the questions in the chat. Please note that we did send out the email just a few minutes before our meeting had started. So if you haven't received an email from HUVA or the NGO CSW70 team, just give it a few minutes, it will be there. And if not, please feel free to email us at info@ngocsw.org. So moving on to hosting a safe, secure virtual event. Just some things to note to make sure that we're all staying safe. The less interaction is more secure. Disable the chat or Q&A. Have a webinar instead of a meeting if you're using Zoom. If you have that feature, it's a great feature to have if you're wanting to prevent any infiltrators or disruptive participants. And don't allow participants to unmute themselves or turn on their video if you're worried about, disruptors. To limit Zoom bombing, require registration. Don't publish the direct link. Disable participant ability to rename themselves, screen share, or unmute themselves. I want to reiterate that it is important that you limit screen sharing to only the host or the individuals who are running the Zoom. So a safe participant engagement. You can also run a secure and safe event with participant engagement that looks like managing and monitoring the chat, keeping participants muted, and spotlighting speakers. So for example, here at NGO CSW, we have a few of our employees right now working on the back end of Zoom, making sure that everyone is muted, making sure monitoring the chat and making sure everything is good over there. And that really helps us support and provide a safe environment for our participants. And keep in mind, you are able to remove any disruptors from your event if needed. So protecting participants, allow anonymous participation. Some people are not able to participate openly and freely, so be mindful of that. And make sure all participants are aware if you are recording or taking any photos or videos. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the next slide. Anna, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, John, for sharing very important information. I have more important information regarding in-person events. So let's discuss the setting up. For setting up, you have 15 minutes to set up and 15 minutes to break down. So please ensure that you arrive accordingly. No taping or attaching things to the wall or furniture, please. And please keep in mind that all in-person events are 90 minutes and you must be out of your room 15 minutes after the event of your event. Regarding technical support, please bring your own laptop, adapters, and any equipment. Our staff is available to assist if the help is needed. And regarding live streaming, we do not encourage, so we discourage live streaming due to the internet capacity. And please provide your own equipment. So next slide, please. So again, it's very important to remember no food or drink besides the water, of course. You must put the room back to its original state. No taping or attaching items to the wall or furniture. And you must be out of the room 15 minutes after the event. And another very important thing to remember, no selling products of any kind, please. I will pass to Matt again for the next slide. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. And I do just want to reiterate, we are using and renting the building. So if we could just keep in mind, there is no food or drinks. I know, very sad, but it is important that we keep the rooms clean and sanitary so that we can use it again next year. All right. So next thing here is participant engagement. If you're wondering, okay, how do I get participants to engage with either my virtual event or my in-person event? How do we get it out there? This year, we're going to be doing something a little bit different from last year. We had a lot of requests for a visual schedule that people can actually look at. So we will be publishing that and making it available to participants. But we will also want to reiterate that it's important to promote your event through sharing with your network. We have exhibit booths and handbook ads, and also tagging us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or any other platform that we attend. So how do attendees get to your event? Like John had mentioned before, on Whova, it is very easily accessible to look through each event, and we will kind of go into that a little bit later. And I'll kind of explain how these trainings that we did last year could also help you. They're about 5 to 7 minutes. Participants can filter their search for category, day, time, and find an event that fits their interest. We will also have slides in the main lobby that will allow you to see all of the events at a certain time or day. And then joining your event, you will go to the portal and find the organizer link for any virtual event. A quick reminder, there is a time change right before the CSW on March 8th. So the US Eastern Standard Time will go to Eastern Daylight Time. So just want to do that quick reminder for any organizers. And again, if you're interested in, can you go back a slide really quick? Sorry. Great. Exhibit booth and handbook ad trainings will be hosted next week, January 29th at 2 p.m. I highly recommend this, especially if you're really interested in having a high turnout in person or virtual events. We have, the handbook ad training. I will send a link out in the chat right now with an example of last year's handbook ad or handbook. And you can kind of look through it, see all the handbook ads, and anything that you may be interested. And then finally, here is that registration for the handbook ad training if you are interested. Next slide, please. Okay, so just a few resources that I recommend. We will be posting an FAQ for parallel event organizers within the upcoming week. I know that the Whova process can sometimes be a little challenging, but I promise we will be there with you every step of the way. We have tons of resources that you can take a look at. And if anything, please feel free to email us at info@ngocsw.org. So I'm just going to post some of these links in the chat here. I have the CSW safety guidelines and principles, the NGO CSW 69 tutorial videos, which were made last year, which are wonderful. Again, they're 5 to 7 minutes. They give you a quick tutorial on organization through Whova and a few other different technological aspects that may be important to you as an organizer. I have the safety guidelines on our website, which we will make sure are posted and available for you before the forum. So you can go over that before you host your in-person or virtual event. And then I also have the YouTube video recordings for this year. That link right there will be the playlist for all of these trainings. So we have the organizer training that we're doing. We have the exhibit booth and handbook ad training, the participant training, and the advocacy training. So all of those trainings will be in that last link, number 4, the YouTube video recordings. And I will provide these links to you. Please just keep in mind that I will be sending out an email. So keep your eyes out. If you do not receive emails from either parallel events at ngocsw.org or info@ngocsw.org, please email me directly, info@ngocsw.org, and we will hopefully get that fixed. I also recommend checking your spam or maybe trying a different browser. Sometimes that will actually help support the MailChimp that's coming in. Okay, I will go ahead and go on to the next slide, which is our Q&A. So I'm just going to go ahead and spotlight some of our participants. And I have some questions in the chat that I had written down from earlier before I started speaking that I'll go ahead and just read out loud. And then once we get those questions answered, feel free to use the chat or raise your hand. Keep in mind, we do have a lot of questions. So if you are unmuting yourself, just to keep it brief, and we will answer it as the best we can. All right, so Virginia had a question. Will our portal allow us to collect RSVPs for our parallel event? John, I think you would be best to answer this.
Yes, thank you, Mads. If you are creating your Zoom session, I guess, your Zoom meeting for your parallel event with an RSVP functionality and registration functionality, which we heavily encourage you to do so, then yes, you would be able to collect RSVPs for your virtual events. Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue.
Great. Next, I had a button for the parallel event says access parallel event. Is this the same as lead organizer portal?
Could you repeat that one more time, pretty please?
Yeah, absolutely. So the button for access parallel event, is it the same as the lead organizer portal?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great. All right, and then where can I access lead organizer portal?
So if you are the designated parallel event manager and you are attending it, you should have received 2 emails, one of them being titled, "May I get your bio and session information for NGO CSW70?" But also another email titled, "Set up your parallel event in Whova and download the app." So you should have received 2 emails from the team within a 10-minute span. If you do not receive it, please double check your spam folder or junk folder. But since it has been 30 minutes since these have been sent, they should have been received by now. But if you did not receive it, please shoot me a private message. I know I've been private messaging some of the folks in here and providing some guidance. So if you need further guidance, please send me a message.
Great, thank you. Where can we see the schedule? As I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to see it in the Whova platform, and we will also make it available once we have everything set and ready to go. So I know we're about a month and a half out, so I would give it about 2 or 3 more weeks, and we should have that schedule out and available to everyone. I just want to reiterate that to get into the UN Church Center or to attend the NGO CSW Forum, you do not have to have ECOSOC accreditation. You do not have to have a UN badge. You just need to register through Whova and through our registration, which we will have coming out in the following weeks. If you're an organizer, you will have the organizer access, so you don't need to worry about the registration. But we just want to make sure that everyone knows that you are able to attend, even if you don't have ECOSOC accreditation. I'm going to pass it over to Esra. I know that you have had your hand up for a second.
Yeah, thank you. My question is about the presentations to be shared. Some of the presenters might not want to share. Is it possible for them to share during the session and do not upload the presentation? Is it possible?
Are you referring to like pre-recording a presentation?
No, just during the session, if a presenter wants to present a document, but if he or she doesn't want to share it publicly, is it possible
I mean, yeah, that is up to
later
the
on?
presenter.
Okay.
If you don't want to, share a certain document, that is completely up to the organizer, whether they want to present it or not.
And one
Or
more
explain.
question about the trial run. Can we have a trial run with our speakers on Huba platform?
Yes, it looks
Okay.
like. Go ahead, John.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you may do a trial run with your speakers at any moment in time, as long as you put in your Zoom link and you start your Zoom and then access the front-facing forum event web portal to see how everything looks like. You could do testing at any moment in time.
Thank you.
Of course. A few more questions from the chat before I get to the next person. Can a co-organizer also have access to the portal, or is there only one organizer allowed to have access? John, do you know the answer to that?
So currently with what we have uploaded so far, only the listed parallel event manager has access. If you are looking for more folks to have access to your parallel events, then this may be something to inquire to the NGO CSW team and myself so we could add you in to give you access. But currently at this moment in time, only one person has access, and that is the listed parallel event manager that everyone submitted.
Great, thank you so much. Yes, you can have water in the rooms. That is, of course, we don't want anyone to go thirsty. You are able to have water in the rooms, just making sure that if you're hosting an in-person event, no coffee or drinks that may have like dyes in them. We just want to make sure that everyone is safe and clean and it's accessible for everybody. I will go over to Patricia, who's had her hand up.
Yes. Thank you. I was the one who asked about the co-organizer question. And if we do want to follow up on that, would I talk to you, John, or someone else about that?
I would recommend you email parallel events at NGO CSW.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm misstating the email, but they will be the ones who will be able to add you in as a co-organizer. I personally cannot. I don't have those privileges on their platform.
Okay, so Mads, would that be to you or?
Yeah, so
Okay.
again, if you email either the parallel events email or the info email, we will get to you. We do have a small team, so it might just take us a second. We're going through plenty of emails, but we'll make sure that it gets done for you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Shyla, I'll go over to you.
Thank you, Mads, John, Tanitra. My question is, how do we upload flyers? I know last year it was hard to upload a flyer because it took the full size, so it covered the whole screen. How do you upload it so it's a small document on the screen? And then second, how do we test that the link we provided is operational? Because if it's not, we won't know until a little bit late. So those are my two questions.
If you are referring to a virtual event for the link,
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
okay, great. The link, I would say that you should definitely troubleshoot the link before you publish it and post it. You will be able to go into your Whova account organizer page and publish a link. So if it doesn't work, just upload a new link in a registration. I recommend doing it as soon as you post your link, just so you know that that link is working, the registration is correct, and walking through it. Yeah. As for the
flyer,
the flyer, John, do you have an answer for that?
Yes. So in regards to graphics, flyers, or anything that you're looking to add for your parallel events, there's going to be two areas. The first area will be your session description, and for that one, you're going to be cutting and pasting that graphic within the description. You could put that either at the very top or at the very bottom. But again, on your lead organizer portal, there will be an actual button where you can upload documents. So that one, it's going to be like a two-click process, right? They'll click into your parallel events, they'll scroll down, and then they'll click into your document in order to see it. So it'll be up to your preference on how you want it to be displayed for your parallel event, whether you want it to be displayed on your description or if you want it to be housed as a document and people have to click into it.
Thank you. And if we can have John's email or the parallel events link, that would be helpful.
Absolutely. I will make sure that once this meeting is over, I will provide you with a list of things that we've talked about today, all of our resources, and any information that might be necessary for your organization. Before I jump over to another question online. Let me read out some more questions. Will you be sending out these links? Yes, I will. After this meeting, again, I will share the recording and all the resources. What type of account do we need to create in Whova? If you're doing an organization, like if you're the lead organizer, you will have to make the account through that link. Is that right, John?
That is correct. So if you did receive the emails, then technically your account has already been made. All you have to do is create a password. But the email address that you provided to us, which is the email address that received the link, technically your account is already made for your own profile. All you have to do is create a password. And after you do, you'll be able to access your lead organizer portal. You'll be able to access the forum event web portal and even the mobile app if you would like to.
Great. Amazing. We have another question that says, registration for handbook ads and exhibit booths are up on our website. They are open. Our artisan fair applications did close. I believe it was last Friday they closed. And we had a good number of applications. We're very excited for the artisan fair this year. But those registrations for the applications for the handbook ads and exhibit booths are now open on our website. The cost of handbook ads do vary. We will talk more about the handbook ads in the training. A lot of it is similar to last year. If you were here last year, it's going to be similar pricing. I also recommend taking a look at the applications online. It's just ngocsw.org. Our front page, it has 4 applications open for you. How do we contact staff tech supports when we are at the Salvation Army auditorium in the morning? There will be volunteer and staff in the Salvation Army. I recommend we will have blue and yellow badges that will either say event staff or volunteer. I recommend just asking them there. If you absolutely need help, we will provide you an emergency number or emergency email. I think it's like safety@NGO CSW, but we will provide you with that email. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over to Caroline, who's been waiting patiently.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
I just have a couple of questions. What exactly is provided in the rooms for the in-person events?
That is a great
screen.
Yes, that's a great question. That should have been in here, so my apologies. Let me pull up the exact information for this because I do have this.
Okay, and while you're pulling that up, I do have another question. Is February 16th the deadline or the start date for the portal to open for flyers, or is that the deadline? I had noted February 16th, so I just wanted to know about that.
For Whova?
Yeah, to upload flyers, is there a deadline or start date?
Is that a question for me? Yes. Technically, there is no, I mean, unless there is a deadline, I'm not aware, but within your lead organizer portal, you're able to make edits and upload anything at any moment in time. So once you have access, you could do it now. You could do it a day before your event. You could do it an hour before your event. You could do it after your event. So there's no deadline.
Okay, perfect. And will we be given a room? Is there a room number assignment? How would we know which is our specific room?
That's a great question. Normally, when you're assigned a floor, whether that's the chapel, 2nd floor, lower level of the Salvation Army, 8th floor, 10th floor, those floors are the room. It's pretty. There we go. Yeah, the building is there'll be directions. We don't have exact room numbers, but there is like a large room on those floors, which will be your event space. I hope that helps. I also have the AV and tech information right here. I'm actually going to send it in the chat and also read it out loud. All rooms have 2 mics, speakers, and a projector. Anything else regarding AV or live streaming, again, we kind of discourage live streaming just because of the large capacity of people, maybe overwhelming our Wi-Fi a little bit. But anything else regarding AV, organizers will need to provide. That being said, organizers will only have 15 minutes prior to their event to set up, so just keep that in mind when setting up.
But you mentioned projector, but you didn't mention, did you mention a screen? There's a screen.
Yes, the projector and the screen will be in the room.
Is
Yes.
included, so there's no extra cost for that as far as I know.
No.
Can I ask one final question? I'm so sorry.
Absolutely. Of course.
We also are hosting a virtual event. If our own Zoom accounts with our organizations, which is what we upload our own Zoom link, I guess, with our own organizations. If we have a capacity limit on our own Zoom links, does WHOVA or WOVA allow us to accept more people than what our account limits allow? Is that clear?
Could you repeat that last section, Caroline, in regards to the limits? Was
Yeah,
that in reference to Zoom?
Yeah, I think some Zoom accounts have limits, like you can pay X amount with your own account and it's cut off at 100 people. Does your platform allow for us to have more than our own limits in order for people to attend?
That is a great question. And for any of the folks in here who missed that question, the question is, if your Zoom plan has a certain limit of attendees that are able to attend, can WHOVA bypass this limits? The answer is no. WHOVA integrates with Zoom, but we don't essentially mess with any of the settings within Zoom. So if your Zoom plan, if your Zoom account has a limit on the amount of attendees that can join, then it will follow that limit. And if you go over, they will not be able to join.
Okay. A few more questions from the chat here. Let me just read it out and then I will get to you, Justine. Is it possible to change the lead organizer email if the one that we use for registration has issued? Yes, if you are having issues with the organizer email, if it's not working, if you're not getting the emails, we would much rather you receive those emails. So please just email us at info@NGO CSW or parallel events at NGO CSW. How can we publish in the event handbook and who should we coordinate this with? Again, our application for the handbook ads and exhibit hall are on our website, ngocsw.org. It's going to be that very front page. You'll see 4 applications and go to that handbook ad application. Is lead organizer and parallel event manager the same thing? Yes, it is. How do we get tech person all access, but also have the info about the webinar lead person on the site? So I believe the individual who had been sent the WHOVA email should have been your WHOVA WHOVA tech person. So in the application for the parallel event, we had 2 emails that you had to input, the lead organizer and the back end organizer. And so that email should have gone to the back end organizer who will be setting up WHOVA and the parallel event. John, do you have anything to add to that?
No, everything that you just mentioned is precisely correct. And I am receiving a few messages in regards to the emails that were sent over. So I just want to clarify. One of the emails that was sent over to the parallel event manager was, may I get your bio and session information for the forum? And the other one is set up your parallel events within WHOVA for the forum. If you received 1 out of 2 of these emails, then that's great. There is no difference between these emails. They both contain the same pieces of information and the same links. So you don't necessarily need to access both emails. If you could access one or access both, that's just fine. But to clarify, they both include within the contents the same information, the same links. So you'll be able to access your parallel events lead organizer portal in there, as well as have access to all the information.
Great, thank you so much. Justine, I will give you the floor. Thank you for waiting.
No worries. So I have two questions. The first one is about the original form that we get when we open that link where it says speaker information. So I think what I understand is that that will actually say like event organizer information and not speaker information. Is that right?
Are you logged into the portal right now?
Yeah. And I'm in like the first page where it says
Perfect.
speaker information, and then it's like my email that I can't change.
Yes, that is correct. So speaker information will always be stated as speaker information, but on the front end of Whova on the forum event web portal where all your information will be seen, you'll be designated as the parallel events manager. So hopefully that helps clarify your question. Please let me know if I missed the mark.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, I'm not the speaker, not really
Yeah.
involved in that at all. So do I just put this speaker information in the session information part then? Okay, so
Bingo,
there's not
bingo.
okay.
Yeah.
And then my second question is if we choose to do translation and we're doing it virtual, does it work the same way that we would do it on Zoom? Like it has nothing to do with Whova. Okay.
Exactly, yes. So once you have those settings configured in Zoom, and then once you plug in your Zoom link within your session, the what's that word I'm looking for? But the stream that'll be displayed on Whova will be from Zoom. So all of the Zoom transcripts, closed captioning, and translations and all those things will be shown.
Okay, thanks. That's everything.
Okay. Simone, I'll go ahead and also give you the floor.
Thank you. Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So my question is a little bit more specific about logistics around the room. My parallel event, I am the speaker or the moderator as well as the event organizer. So my question is, I'm just going to get a little specific. Will there be HDMI cords provided in the room for the projections? I understand there are speakers, and from the Whova app, we should be expecting to integrate our Zoom accounts into Whova. I just want to make sure I understand like what we will be able to access when we walk into the room.
That's a really valid question. I totally understand. We will have NGO CSW staff if you absolutely need anything.
Okay.
You know, we will be on the 9th floor and we will send out more information regarding that. For
Okay.
HDMI cords, if I remember correctly, and Pamela Rosa, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. I think organizers do have to bring their own HDMI cords.
Okay.
I think if absolute last case, I think we have like 1 or 2 extra to spare, but I would not count on that, especially if there's multiple people during a certain time frame who
Okay.
do need that. If you know, first come, first serve, if you come in last, we unfortunately don't have enough HDMI cords. Rosa, it looks like you want to jump in here.
Thank you. Yes, just to suggest that if there's a specific connection to your computer or your backup computer, you please try to bring it.
Okay.
As Matt said, but you can also try, if you have time, to go to the room ahead of your session. Of course, there's going to be another session there, but in between that 15 minutes, when there's a setup time without bothering the organizers, you can just visually check if that's something that is there that,
So honestly, from a planning perspective, I don't think it's the wisest to wait before the session to have to check that out. Will we have any capacity to walk to see the room, to be able to access the room before the parallel events start? So say like I'm a New York resident, I'm a New York City resident, so it'd be nothing for me to walk over to CCUN, but our rooms haven't been assigned. So I was just curious, I don't know the public accessibility to the room.
I was saying, during the NGO forum, if your event is on a Thursday, that if you're there on a Monday or Tuesday, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying way ahead of time, because that might not be feasible and it might not be available when you try to go. So.
Okay. I have a follow-up question.
Simone, before you go on, I want to jump in here because We can't guarantee that any room at the church center is going to be open at any time other
Okay.
than what we have for the forum. My
Okay.
advice to everyone is anytime you're going to present, always make sure that you carry any cables that you might need, any adapters that
Excellent.
you might need, because it's just good practice
Mm-hmm.
and not
Okay.
to depend on anyone to have it, because we could have 10 and they could all disappear. So it's always good to bring your own equipment, and then you don't have much to worry.
Okay, and then I have a general question. Are any of the rooms going to have any equipment recording the session, or is the Hoover platform or Zoom, we all have that capacity in Zoom for our virtual participants to record if you have that within your Zoom account? Will there be any recording of the event live? So I understand you guys prefer not live streaming, but will there be any recording of the event?
We're actually working with Scranton University, and they're looking to put laptop computers in each room and record the sessions. So that is a work in progress. I can't guarantee it, but we are trying to put that in practice.
Thank you so much for sharing the information you have at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Again, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm having some technical issues right now. I just got booted and then came back in. Okay, so I have some more answers from the chat here. We need more information about translation during the parallel events. We do not provide translation services. The organizers do have to provide their own translation services. Can we change the lead organizer an event? Normally, we would say no to that. In-person events, you're unable to change your title, your time, and your lead organizer due to the application process. We thoroughly go through each application to make sure it is up to the standards of NGO CSW. And so we would prefer not to change lead organizers or titles because that process is quite extensive. And if we, allow it for one person, it would be quite a tedious process to go through many of them. However, if you absolutely need to, and I am saying this absolutely need to, please contact us and we can maybe work something out. And this is only for emergencies. A couple of questions about the UNCSW70 program ending March 19th. Rosa or Pamela, do you want to take this one?
Sure. The NGO forum will continue until March 20th, but the official UN CSW, the UN, will have a holiday on March 20th, which is Eid. So the UN will be closed. There will not be CSW sessions. It will end, it will end on the 19th. But our forum will continue until the 20th.
Great. If there's nothing to add over here, then I will go ahead and pass it to Jan. Thank you for waiting.
Of course, thank you. This has been so super helpful. A couple of people have asked this in the chat and we haven't gotten full answers. So, and I don't, we know what happens when you make assumptions, right? So I'm assuming if we're invited to this call and we got both emails, our application has been accepted, and then we're just really and we all asked for dates and times, right? And so now it's just a matter of you guys playing Jenga or Tetris to put all the time spaces and everything together. So we'll have that detail as we get closer to the event. So that's why I'm asking versus making an assumption.
No, absolutely. Great question. I've seen this, a few of these questions pop up, so thank you for bringing it up. If you have not received an acceptance, please email us. You should have received an acceptance. It may have gone to your spam folder. I'm unsure, but everyone should have received an acceptance at this point. If you applied maybe within the past 3 days, maybe not. For a virtual event, you probably haven't received an acceptance. But up to this point, I think everyone should have received an acceptance. Again, if you didn't receive a confirmation email, an acceptance, or a receipt, maybe something didn't go through. So it is definitely best if you send us an email, and I will try my best to work with you. Does that answer your question? Great. Caroline, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Apologies. Just want to be clear, when and where will the in-person event rooms be posted? Exactly. I have no idea what the church center is. We're in the church center, and how many rooms and meetings are going on at the same time.
Yeah, so the church center is our main hub. It's where we host a lot of the events in our conference, as well as the Salvation Army. So we're going to have this year, we're going to have two places where you can see these events and the event times. Our interns are working very diligently. Thank you, Mariama. A little shout out to make sure that you have the organization, the time, the space, where exactly it will be, and also like the content and the title of the event, which will be posted to our website, and it will also be posted in the building. So if you get there and you're not exactly sure what session you want to attend, what event you want to go to, it will be in the front desk area, the lobby of the CCUET, the Church Center, which is 777 United Nations Plaza, New York. So I hope that helps.
Have the rooms been assigned yet for hosts
Yes.
the events?
Yes. So when you went to apply for an in-person event, you should have picked a specific date and time. If you only picked a date, the application did not go through. You had to pick a date and time. So you should have received a confirmation and acceptance. Application closed a month and a half ago. So in case you did not receive any notifications afterwards, please again contact info or Parallel Events email.
We did, but just to clarify, it says the date, the time, the church center, but not a specific room within the church center. So that's what I'm asking about. Or is there just one room? That's what I don't understand.
There is, I think, 6 rooms available at the church center. And so if you got like a general, like, it should say like what floor it was: 2nd floor, 8th floor, 10th floor, 11th floor. We also have Drew room availability.
Drew, okay, that's the name of a room. Okay,
Great.
it said
Yes.
Drew, but it was not clear that that was the name of a room. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. We will provide you. Yes. Then you are all set. You have your room. So no, don't worry too much. You got a room.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Any other questions?
Can I add something, Mads?
Absolutely.
Completely unrelated to what you and Caroline just talked about. So there was a question in the general chat, and my apologies if there has been questions in the general chat. I've been trying to get through all the personal messages that have been sent over to me. But there was a question in regards to staff members and their attendance and registering. Currently, the platform is only accessible at the current moment to parallel event managers, just so we could handle traffic and bandwidth to NGO CSW70 a little easier. We will have registration open for general attendees, whether it be your staff or anyone that you're looking to bring, open very soon. And we'll send out communications to you all once we have that live, and we'll also send over the link. So currently, only parallel event managers and the designated point of contact for each parallel event has access to Whova. For everyone else, it'll be live soon.
Great. Thank you so much for that information, John. And a last little tidbit of information before I pass it over to Pamela to close us out is that we are, again, partnering with, I think it's Scranton University, and they will be providing us with a survey that we highly encourage organizers to fill out and take. It helps us make our organization better. It also is helping with data and analysis via I think, Pamela, actually, you may know more about this than I do, but it's a really special opportunity, and I think it would be really, really helpful if we could get organizers to take that survey. So we will be sending out that survey. I believe there's two. There's one before the forum and after the forum. So I will go ahead and pass it over to Pamela, and then we will do one last round of questions, and then we will close it out.
Thank you. Renee Kopic has a question. I think that John can probably answer it. If you are an organizer for more than one virtual event, will you receive more than one email for setup?
That is a wonderful question. If you have more than one parallel event, then you will still be receiving one email and one link to your lead organizer portal. What you will find within that portal is both your sessions instead of just one. So you'll be able to find your session information or your event information, two descriptions, two areas to upload Zoom links. So again, it is still just one link, but you'll be able to find both events information within that. Also, I have been receiving a few messages in regards to incorrect emails for their profile. For these, for this case, or for these cases, please email parallelevents@ngocsw.org to make these changes, as I currently do not have the capabilities to do so on my end.
Yes, and I do want to reiterate that if you had inputted on your application the Whova backend organizer, that is the email that this is going to. So say, you're the main organizer, but you put a different organizer email for the Whova backend, it is going to that email, not yours. Okay. Lorana, am I saying that right?
Yes, Lorena.
Great. You can take the floor.
Yeah, I just wanted to, first of all, thank you, Mads, John, Anna. This has been so well done, and it's answered so many questions. For our parallel event, we're doing a workshop style, so we will be having breakout groups, and I just wanted to ask, as far as logistics, are we allowed to move the chairs the way we want them into our group and clusters, as long as we have them put back into shape in that 15-minute window?
Absolutely. You can, move around the chairs, move the tables, however you would like, just making sure that it is back to how it was for the upcoming event or the next event would be great. Again, we can't stick anything to the walls or to the chairs, so like no posters or signs or anything can go on the walls, again, just for building maintenance. But you can move around the chairs. Each room has chairs except for, I think, the chapel and the auditorium in the Salvation Army. You can't move around those chairs, but in the general CCUN and lower level of the Salvation Army, you can move around those chairs.
Thank you.
Of course. Any last questions before we close out? Jan, I see your hand is
Yeah,
raised.
sorry. I was waiting for it to catch up. What email should we be looking from? Because I got the two WOVA, right? And so we know we're confirmed, all that kind of stuff. What email address would that be coming from so I can look for it either in my inbox or in my junk box?
The specific email domain that these emails are coming from is events-no-reply@whova.io, but the sender name should be for the two emails that were sent. Let me just double check. The first sender name was NGO CSW70 team, and for the second email, it should have came from Tanitra, part of it. So please find those two emails, and if you did not receive them, again, please double check your spam or junk folder. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Great. Shaila, we'll go to you.
Thank you so much. It's regarding the links. I had uploaded my link in response to an email that was sent to me, but I logged on to Whova and I do not see the link there. So is there
Are you
something I'm missing?
are you referring to the change request form?
I'm referring to the original form that was sent to me saying upload your link here. So this was sent a little while back.
So we haven't yet had the chance to go through that change request form and input all the links. So we will be working on it. I'm assuming next week or the following. If you just want to go ahead and do it, just for, peace of mind, you're more than welcome to. But we will go ahead and go through all of those shortly, probably within the next 2 weeks and do that.
So
But
I
thank you
can,
for asking.
yeah, so I can just copy paste and put it there.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much.
And Jan?
Thank you again. Wonderful job organizing and keeping us in mind. Just to clarify, are the different NGOs able to submit more than one workshop proposal, one virtual proposal?
Yeah, if it's virtual, you can submit as many as you like. We only say that it's one organizer for in person, just so each organization and gets a chance to host an in-person event. However, virtual, you can host as many as you would like.
Great. And any co-sponsorship requirements this year?
Not for virtual,
Okay, great. Thank you. Super helpful.
of course. Lydia. Um, Lydia, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for her to reconnect, Rosa just sent again the important resources for organizers that I highly recommend that you check out. The CSW70 safety guidelines and principles, the NGO CSW69 tutorial videos. Again, a really great resource that we were able to do last year. The safety guidelines and that playlist for all of these trainings. Lydia, looks like you're back on. You can take the floor. Lydia, can you hear us? Oh, it looks like she has left. That is okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and close out this session. Thank you all so much for participating and asking engaging questions. I think that this was really helpful, not only for all of you, but also us at NGO CSW, so we know what questions really need to be answered and how we can move forward with some of the technology stuff. Again, if you have any further questions, especially individual questions, info@ngocsw.org or parallel events at ngocsw.org. We are so excited for March and we hope to see you all in New York and if not online soon. All right, have a great rest of your day.
Let's show some love for the organizers, Mads, Anna, John, Mariama,
Thank you so much for
Jameson,
excellent
Tina.
job.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
joining.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.